How can I return him to the United States? Like, I smuggle him into the United States, or what do I do? Of course, I'm not going to do it. It's like, I mean, the question is preposterous. How can I smuggle a terrorist into the United States? I don't have the power to return him to the United States.
But you can release him inside El Salvador.
Yeah, but I'm not releasing, I mean, we're not very fond of releasing terrorists into our country. I mean, we just turned the murder capital of the world into the safest country of the Western Hemisphere, and you want us to go back into the releasing criminals so we can go back to being the murder capital of the world? No, that's not going to happen.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia here. The federal officials, the Supreme Court said the U.S. must bring him back to the United States, or that's the implication here. The U.S., on the other hand, says, well, we don't have to bring him back. We only have to facilitate him coming back. So what's your thought here on watching this play out as well? Because this is pretty interesting. They deported him by mistake. But now they're saying, well, we don't have to bring him back. He can come back in, but we don't have to help do that. But he's stuck in jail. In prison.
They admitted, you're absolutely right, they admitted that they wrongfully deported this guy because he was granted protection by another immigration judge years ago. And the point is that the word facilitate, as your introduction pointed out, 9 judges said they've got to facilitate his return. I don't know what facilitate means to the government, but to you and me, I think facilitate means that you kind of do your best to bring the person back. And so this is going to probably head back to the court, the Supreme Court, if the federal government doesn't bring him back. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the White House today with President Bukele of El Salvador.
Yeah, Bukele is at the White House. I think we have a live look there right now as we're speaking to you that we can show as we talk about this here. But it is interesting here that the government is arguing this. Is this just how the immigration system is? I mean, you're at the mercy of whatever someone can argue about your case?
Never before. This is so unusual that they're dragging their feet and bringing him back. I've been involved, and many immigration attorneys have been involved, where there was mistaken removal of someone, and they bring the person right back. Okay? And so the fact that he's in a Salvadoran prison that we're paying the rent for, it seems to me they can ask Bukele, can you let him go? Let us bring him back.
So, you know, a lot of people might be watching this and saying this is just the administration refusing to accept defeat here. You know, legally speaking, is that what it looks like? Is this just a publicized case? And this is just politics involved and merging into the legal system?
The Supreme Court did send a case back to the federal judge who dug her heels in right away. The Supreme Court said, okay, gather some more information from the federal government, and let's give them reasonable time to facilitate the return. And so I think that she's going to gather the information. She's going to say, hey, bring him back. And if they don't bring him back, this is headed back to the Supreme Court to see if the government did facilitate or not.
But Bill, here's the thing. There is no real enforcement arm here with the Supreme Court or with these federal judges here, so you can't really force the administration to do anything, can you?
Well, that's a constitutional issue that goes back to the founding of the country and early Supreme Court cases. Does the executive branch follow the order of the judiciary? In other words, do checks and balances work? Up to this point, even Richard Nixon having to turn over tapes and that kind of stuff, judges have deferred to orders of the court. And you're right, the court doesn't have an army or a police force to go and say, hey, do this. It's done on faith of the Constitution. And if the president doesn't follow the orders of the Supreme Court, we're in for a long ride. That's going to be a real problem.
That's what we're watching for right now. We want to see what's going to happen next. Bill Hing, the founding director of the Immigration and Deportation Defense Clinic at the University of San Francisco. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. The stories continue to develop right now. We're going to find out what the President Trump and President Bukele are saying at the White House and share that with the audience here shortly. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right. Coming up on Mornings on 2 to 9.